This is another Sojourner Tours video. Bonjour, Francis.
Bonjour, Lisa.
Could you teach us a few words that we can use in France?
Sure. So I'll teach you 3 words that are very important in France and that you probably know already. Bonjour, au revoir, and merci. So let's work on the pronunciation. Bonjour. Bonjour. Au revoir. Au revoir. Merci. Merci. So why these 3 words that you probably already know? It's very cultural. And so let me give you a little sense of how to use them and why they're important. So the secret to good service in France, or the golden rule of all interactions with France, is to start a conversation with bonjour. When you're meeting people for the first time, or if you're approaching someone to find any kind of information, ask for directions, or you're coming into a store and you're starting to talk with employees, you always start with bonjour. Starting with excuse me is not polite enough and is considered rude because you didn't start with the golden rule word bonjour. And when you leave the place, it's also important to say au revoir. And merci is just thank you. And if you can't speak any other French than these 3 words, people will be very appreciative because at least you've tried and you're being polite. And then they will forgive you for not knowing more.
Francis, I wonder, are there ever cultural confusions because of this bonjour, excuse me?
So, no, not really. And it's okay to say bonjour and then excuse me. So bonjour, excusez-moi. Or you can start with excusez-moi followed by bonjour. That's also acceptable, but it's best to start with bonjour.
So when Americans say that they have been told rudely bonjour by someone who they have greeted with excuse me, what's happening there?
The French person will think this foreigner is being rude because they didn't start with the interaction with saying bonjour. So they will rudely reply bonjour to excuse me, to remind the person that they're not being polite by not saying bonjour first. And so the American person faced with this situation will think, oh, this French person is so rude, I'm saying excuse me, which is polite, and I'm being treated rudely. So that's an example of a cultural misunderstanding when both parties think the other party is being rude.
Thanks, Francis. That's going to be really helpful.
All right, I'm glad.
Au revoir.
Thank you. Au revoir. Merci.